Guys, gals, everything between, welcome to another movie review. Today we'll be covering releases from May 26th, which is Tuesday. And as usual, I'm joined by my co-host Cai Cai. Welcome back, Cai Cai.
Hi guys.
So we'll start off this review. There's about 30 or so releases today. And the first main one is The Invisible Man 2020. It is a remake of the original. This one's about Cecilia, who's an abusive ex, takes his own life and leaves her fortune. She suspects his death was a hoax. As a series of coincidences turn lethal, Cecilia's work to prove that she is being hunted by someone nobody can see. Kai Kai, I believe you saw this one just last night or the night before. How was it?
Actually, I saw this one like a week ago, and I didn't even know it was a remake. Was it a remake?
Yeah, and it was a black and white movie, the first one.
Okay, cool. Actually, I think this one is pretty scary. Not like those jump scares or loud noises. Just something psychological. Because from the first opening shot, you can kind of put yourself in the character's shoes, like because she's so stuck in an abusive relationship and can't really get out. And there were also several times where the film feels like it's a conclusion, but it's at its conclusion, but kept going. So I think technically it's a well-made thriller movie, but the plot has some issues because sometimes it just went so fast to the ending. It just somehow reached its ending. But overall, I recommend it.
And this was one of the later movies that actually didn't get released at the theaters just before the whole pandemic thing started. So you were able to watch it online for a little while. I think if you paid like $20 and you have like 24 hours to watch it. But yeah, so this is one of the first ones that hit Blu-ray without actually going to the theater, even though they were supposed to.
Okay.
So it's more like a thriller than anything else, right?
Yes.
Okay, so on to the next one. It's a movie from South Korea directed by Min-ho Woo called The Man Standing Next. And I think I did a review about this like 6 months ago or something when it was just coming out to theater. Basically, it's about in the 1970s, Korea is under the absolute control of the President Park, who controls the KCIA, the organization with the edge over any branch of government. You saw this one as well, right?
Yes. And I think this one is all about acting and music and rhythm instead of just the plot. Because again, as a thriller movie, it's very dangerous because it's very dangerous to make because it can easily turn into a disaster. And Kim.
Go ahead.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I might edit that out. I don't know. It's just
okay.
Anyway, go on.
Okay. What the F? What did I do?
Maybe I'm just allergic to this movie. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this movie is about Kim who assassinated the president. Yeah. He assassinated President Park, like who was really, really corrupted and an absolute dictator at the time. And it was not really scary, just like suspenseful, I would say. The last 20 minutes was so intense that I couldn't even just like lean my back on the chair. But again, it's not scary, it's just the plot and the rhythm of the movie. So I will definitely recommend this one too, especially for those who are into Korean movies, South Korean movies.
And apparently it's based on a true story. So you're saying it's kind of like a edge of your seat type of movie. It'll keep you in like wanting to watch more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hopefully on to the next one. I won't be sneezing like an idiot throughout the whole thing, but this one's called Torpedo U-235 from Epic Pictures, and it was released back in 2019. World War II, a gang of rebels, tough as nails, terrorizing the Nazis in the woods of Flanders, gets a dangerous secret mission. travel to the Belgian Congo to embark on a stolen German U-boat carrying an extremely important cargo to the United States. Sounds like another thriller-type movie, and I believe you saw this one as well.
This one is actually quite excited. I didn't expect to like it this much because at first it's just a story being like a Belgian submarine. Sounded a little bit silly to me at first, but when I actually get to see the U-boat, the movie started kicking to like a higher gear and becomes like really thrilling, and everything just works, like from the acting to the set. So overall, very good until the ending. I think the ending was so rushed that it kind of ruined a little bit. So I guess something happens near the end that looks impossible to solve, and yet they just do it in one action and don't explain what actually happened. So except for the ending, I really like what was there. It has been a long time since I actually like watched and like a Belgian film. So I think it deserves all the attention.
And it's a fairly long movie too. It's almost 2-hour runtime. Okay, so the next one we'll go on to is called Redemption, and this is a foreign film from 2018. Basically, the story is about a guy named Maniac, a former frontman for a rock band, is now religious and a father to a 6-year-old. When his daughter is diagnosed with cancer, he must find a creative solution to fund the expensive treatments. He reunites his band for one last tour. The journey to save his daughter exposes old wounds and allows him to reconnect with her secular past. Maniac understands that only a new connection to his past and to his music can pave the road to his own redemption. Sounds like a real tearjerker, this one, like a really sad movie.
It's kind of like a dramatic version of the Blue Brothers, except switched blues with a Jewish rock band, and they're saving a dying child instead of a church. I thought the acting was excellent, and the film does a great job of revealing information about his past, and slowly we can put together a history of how he ended up in the period of revelation. The music was great too, and I could totally believe that the sound of the band would have been big in the early 80s when it was established and written.
So, but it is a tearjerker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of figured. You can tell by the cover as well. Like,
yeah, you can tell.
Seems kind of sad. The next one is from back in 2018, and it also stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's called Wildlife. Basically, this one's about 14-year-old Joe is the only child of Jeanette and Jerry, a housewife and a golf pro, in a small town in 1960s Montana. Nearby, an uncontrolled forest fire rages close to the Canadian border, and when Jerry loses his job and his sense of purpose, he decides to join the cause of fighting the fire, leaving his wife and son to fend for themselves. Suddenly forced into the role of an adult, Joe witnesses his mother struggle as she tries to keep her head above water. Again, sort of like a tearjerker kind of thing.
But for me, it's not that moving. It's like there was a soft part, but it was a soft but rough film at the same time, and I don't really know how to describe that. Like the performance of Harry Mulligan, and what? And who's this there? Jake
Gyllenhaal,
right?
yeah.
And they're both incredible. Although I expect to see them like way more than they are actually in. But again, the ending was pretty powerful. I think the takeaway of this film in total is like Paul Dano is the director, you know?
Yes.
I think he should make more movies, like direct more movies, because he's actually like really talented in.
Well, it is one of his first attempts, so I'm sure he's going to be noted for more movies making anyways. All right, so back in 2017, Gravitas Ventures released Isolani, which just came out on video today. And this one sounds intriguing. It says here, after witnessing a murder, a young single mother is forced to act as a witness. Threatened on all sides, she must do whatever it takes to protect her son. This definitely sounds like one that I do want to see. What do you have on this one?
This one is is the type of movie that will keeps you guessing all the way to the end. So it's about, like you said, a murder witness who is abused and threatened by powerful people until she fights back. And I don't like those movies that gave the story ending way too quickly, but this one was like well thought and intense. And the acting is strong, and the lead actress was very good. It is violence at times, mostly is about tension and drama instead of action. And it kind of reminded me of a lot of old movies. So I recommend this one.
So it's definitely another one to check out. The next one I definitely want to watch. It's from Shout Factory, and I didn't watch it the first time. It was out 2007. It's called Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, and it stars a lot of famous actors. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Ethan Hawke, Marissa Tomei, Albert Finney. The storyline basically is when two brothers organize the robbery of their parents' jewelry store, the job goes horribly wrong, triggering a series of events that they both could not have foreseen. You've seen this one as well, and I think you liked it as well, didn't you?
Yes, and like you said, this movie has a great cast, and the performance is great. And it also seems as though as the film has progressed, the intense suspense in the film just continues to envelope you even more. The entire atmosphere just impacts me so deeply, and you even have that kind of thrill of excitement after you watch that movie. So yeah, I would recommend this. I'm not going to say a lot about like the ending and stuff. So
yeah, you don't want to exactly ruin the ending. Yeah, even though a lot of movies today that got released weren't exactly from 2020 or even last year, there's still some good real classics that came out today. And you tell me about the next one here, Highway 395. It says in the Californian desert, Sheriff Wade has to deal with drug couriers on Highway 395, a criminal releasing from jail and a serial killer. What have you got on this?
You can actually see that if anytime a filmmaker can sum up the film points just in a couple of opening scenes, he's onto something, and there's so much more than just or even a thriller. And the performance is great, and especially Dryers, like it's very low key, and the leading actress, I forgot her name. Did you have her name? She's quite good too, because she's just like a psycho chick, you know.
The main actress, you said, Blake Adams.
Is it Diane something? The name of from the movie? You have it? I think this one.
The main actress, you mean? Because I know that Fred Dreyer, who directed it, is the one that stars in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly all guys. Like you're talking. I think you're talking about Diane Delano.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been in about 20 movies as well. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think this one can. I think a lot of cult movie fans will really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, it seems like that type.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go on to another 1999 movie. This one's called Angela's Ashes, and I remember this one. It's an Irish film, and it's about life in an impoverished Depression-era Ireland holds little promise for young Frank McCourt, the oldest son in a tightly knit family. Living by his wits, cheered by his irresponsible spirit, and sustained by his mother's fierce love, Frank embarks on an inspiring journey to overcome the poverty of his childhood and reach the land of his dreams, America. Looks like a struggling type of film. What do you got on this one?
So this one is based on a book, and I know there are a lot of bad reviews about this movie. But again, because there's a lot of difference between reading a book and watching a movie. But for me, I saw the movie first, so I have like no preconceived ideas. I would say it's a good movie, and it has brilliant production. For whoever that read the book, they might feel disappointed, but the author actually keep praising for this movie because it just captured everything, the impressions, the feelings of the times. So I think this one is superb, and yeah, for whoever who has read this book, it's no harm like watching it, because again, it's different reading a book and watching a movie. You can't just possibly capture everything.
I know, that's why books are so much longer to read and pay attention to. There's so much detail compared to the movie, but I think this movie still satisfies you quite a bit. So we're going to go on to a 1997 release called Breeders from Dark Force Entertainment. Now this is another one that I haven't seen because I forgot all about it, but what I read about it and stuff, and the reviews you told me about it before, I really want to see this one. It's an invasion of the most personal and terrifying kind when a meteorite crash lands onto a Boston college campus and an alien beast is released. Only one man understands its mission to mate. From the depths of an all-girls college, the grotesque monster stalks his prey in a cat-and-mouse chase until the final conflict where only one species can survive. And of course, you know me, I'm a sucker for all-girls college movie type horror movies. So what do you have on this?
This one, I mean, even like reading the plot is so interesting. It's like an alien crashes on Earth.
Oh, you got me at all-girls school college thing. Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean for me.
No, I mean for me.
Okay, but I mean for me.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, it's like an alien crashes on Earth with a mission to breed.
Can you imagine if it was an all-girls college school in China? Okay, go ahead.
What the? Okay, so this one...
Maybe I should save that for our next Asian horror movie talk. Sorry to keep interrupting you.
If that ever happen, all right?
Yeah, that'll happen in like 2 days, all right? Okay, go ahead.
Like, just this movie kind of reminded me of a bad sci-fi TV show, you know?
Yeah, those cheesy type.
But like you said, sometimes the bad movies, they turn out like really funny, and you just want to watch them, right?
Because they have so many crazy ideas in them, not like your typical Hollywood movie, you know?
And it's so ridiculous that you have to check it. It's like... But I think, actually from that time, is this movie from 1997?
Correct.
So there are probably like hundreds of C movies like this. But I mean, if you already like watched a lot of those type of movies and you're really enjoying that, you really should like watch this one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, you get so many ideas from these types of movies too. So let's go on to Escape from L.A., which is from 1996, and this is another classic that I've watched many, many times.
Really?
Thriller action sci-fi. Yeah, it's pretty wacky. Big Trouble in Little China was another one that he made, that he was in. Kurt Russell, but John Carpenter actually directed this. So what did you think of this one?
What did you think of this one?
Well, I like Escape from L.A., but I did like Big Trouble in Little China more, just because a lot of it takes place in China, and it was pretty cheesy as compared to Escape from L.A. This one isn't as cheesy as Big Trouble in Little China, but I enjoy this one. I prefer Big Trouble in Little China, but I don't mind watching this one yet again.
How come you never mentioned like Escape from New York?
Okay, look, you're the one who's doing the reviews right now, so why didn't I mention? No, Escape from New York isn't as good as this one, I don't think.
Okay, so I'm going to say like structurally it's almost the same as Escape from New York, right?
Right.
But this one is like more odd, more strange, like bold, you know? Like strange, just strange. So for those who are into strange movies, yeah, I lightly recommend it, not strongly. So.
Well, for me, because I prefer like movies that take place in China or things to do with Asia, I would go with first.
Why are you so obsessed with that?
Huh?
Why are you so obsessed with that?
Yeah, so first I would go with Big Trouble in Little China, then I would go with Escape from L.A., and then Escape from New York. What about you? I know you can't really pick Escape from Jamaica because he never made that movie, but what would you say about those three movies? Which ones would you rank in order?
Escape from Italy, I guess. Okay.
All right. So The next one is from 1995, and this one is a comedy gold, I think. This one also I've seen maybe at least 10 times. So funny. Chris Farley was amazing. But anyway, Tommy Boy. The boys are back, and they're bigger than ever in this gut-busting, all-new, holy shnikey edition. Crack-up comedians Chris Farley and David Spade star as two never-do-well traveling salesmen who hit the road in order to save the family business in this infectiously funny, larger-than-life movie. Did you just watch this one, and what do you think of it? This one is just so funny.
So what do you think about it?
Well, I'm just going to tell you my favorite part of this movie, and it was like a 5-second clip. David Spade, the younger guy, the skinnier guy, goes into the restaurant or goes into the gas station to pay for the gas. Chris Farley goes to pump the gas, but he's too far away from the gas tank. So he goes a little too far, opens the door to realize the gas tank, it won't fit, the gas thing won't fit into the gas tank because he's too far. So he backs up as his door is still open, and he hits the pole, and the door just breaks wide open. So he has to hurry up and fix the car before David Spade comes back into the car. So he pumps the gas, sits back in the passenger seat, tries to put the door back on its hinges as best as possible. David Spade comes, opens the door, and of course the door falls on the floor. So Chris Farley looks at David Spade in like a shocking face and says, "What did you do?" But yeah, I like that part. So enough of my little story. Go ahead with yours.
Can you imagine that's my favorite part too?
Okay, and that's your favorite part also. Okay, so we'll go on to the next movie here. Do you seriously have a review, or you want me to go on to the next one?
Yeah, go on to the next one.
All right. 1990. What?
Thanks for talking for me.
Yeah, a little too much. Hyenas, 1992. I think this movie is another foreign movie. It's from Africa, right?
Senegal?
Where?
Senegal.
Oh, Senegal. Yeah, Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Draman is the most popular man in Kolobane, but when a woman from his past, now exorbitantly wealthy, returns to the town, things begin to change. I've heard nothing about this one. Is it any good?
This one is like, it's the first film that I see from Senegal. I know many of the best films from Africa come from Senegal, and I plan to watch more of them. This one is quite good. It's actually adapted from a book or something, and it's well made. But I think it gets a little bit repetitive in the middle part. The end was somehow very powerful. I'm not sure how the story and what happened is connected to the future of Africa, but it just feels like the film tries to state the end is the key to Africa's prosperity. I'm not that sure how I should read that, but there's a quote. There's a quote that I found online about this movie. So it's like, the world has made me a whore, so I'll make the world into a whorehouse.
The world made him into a horse?
The world has made me a whore.
Oh, okay.
So I will make the world into a whorehouse. Get it?
But is that like a part of the movie or what? Or that's like a tagline, you mean?
It's like a metaphor, I think.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that I didn't hear. Okay, so the next one is it reminds me of like an Annabelle type movie because it's Dolly Dearest from Vinegar Syndrome who's been making killer movies lately, releases. And this one's about an American family moves to Mexico to fabricate dolls, but their toy factory happens to be next to a Sanzian grave, and the toys come into possession of an old malicious spirit. Almost kind of like Puppet Master 2, but back then they made a lot of these kind of movies. How was this one?
I think this one is just okay. And do you know what that is? VHS box art?
Which?
From the poster you can see that, right?
Yeah, it looks like sort of like Chucky too, her face.
Mm-hmm. And I think the actual movie has its moments, and all this Mexico doll factory setting is quite unique, but the effect is just so plain, not that scary. So not the best of the killer doll movies. Not the worst, but I mean, you can check it out if you're interested in movies like Chucky and stuff like that.
So, but I think Chucky being the original would be better, but it's still, if it's anything to watch, if you're into dolls and kind of thing, this one would be to watch as well. On to one that I want to see. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying the next one you're going to talk about is just funny.
Well, it's called 1,000 Pieces of Gold from 1991, released by Kino Lorber. And it says what it's about. In 1880s China, young Lalu is sold into marriage by her impoverished father. Rather than becoming a bride, Lalu ends up in Idaho. What, am I saying it wrong or something? Every time I say Lalu, you're like, oh, never mind.
No.
Maybe it's just the noise. Lalu ends up in an Idaho gold mining town, the property of a salon owner who renames her China Polly and plans to sell her as entertainment for the locals, refusing to become a whore. Wow, it's a really horror-based theme, these last few movies we're talking about. Lalu ultimately finds her own way into this strange country filled with white demons. What the hell is this all about? Anyway, it sounds really confusing.
You know what?
But I do want to see it.
This poster is shit. You know?
Why?
Don't let the poster fool you, because the poster is just shit. Actually, this is a really, really good movie about a young Chinese woman like shipped against her will to the west of America, and so into marital slavery, that kind of thing. And she actually just gained independence and new life for herself. It's actually a true story, and it's written and directed by women. It's a great story, and the performance is great. It's just a fucking I don't know what the fuck is happening with that poster. Just so stupid.
But the movie sounds like totally bizarre. But you say it's based on a true story?
Yes, and I think even sometimes it's like sometimes when I was watching it, it just feels like I don't know, like very, 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 very bizarre, but in a good way. You should really like watch this one. Just the poster is shit again.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Okay, so the next one is Solid Metal Nightmares. It's the films of Shinya Tsukamoto. And I think there's about 10 or so movies in this package from 1987 up to 2018. You talk about this one for a few minutes.
I just have 1 minute. I don't have a lot to talk about this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
But you have the list of the movies that are in it, or?
I think there are in total 6.
No, 10.
10?
Yeah.
10. Oh, all right. So first one, I think the first two are quite famous, like Tetsuo, the Iron Man, and the second one is just a sequel of it, and the third one, Adventure of Denshu Kazuo, and Tokyo Fist, Bullet, Ballet, A Snake of June, Vital, Haze, Hodoko, and Killing. Like most of them are like horror and sci-fi kind of movie. And if you are a fan of him, this is like a fantastic collection, definitely. Has all 10 together.
So more of them are, you would say, to watch or skip, or do you recommend?
I think the first two are really are more famous. I mean, at least to me.
That's probably why they listed those two first.
Mm-hmm.
In 1985, there was a movie called Better Off Dead, and today the exclusive steelbook got released for that. And it's a comedy romance teen coming of age type movie. Lane Mayer is a depressed teen who loses his girlfriend Beth. Her given reason for breaking up is, Lane, I think it'd be in my best interest if I dated somebody more popular, better looking, drives a nicer car. Anyway, poor Lane is left alone and thinks up treacherous ways of killing himself. He finally meets a French beauty called Monique and falls for her. Simultaneously, he must endure his mother's terrible cooking, which literally slides off the table, and his disgusting next-door neighbor, Ricky, and his mom while he prepares for the skiing race of his life to get his old girlfriend back. Well, I mean, why would he want to get his old girlfriend back if he met a foreigner and he's totally digging her? Why go back to the original? You know what I mean? The original girl's obviously after like his car or whatever else. He drives a crap car. So what? Did you fall in love with him for his friggin' car, or and then he meets a French foreigner? Doesn't matter if she's French. She could be from China. That's not the point, right? As long as he meets her and they like each other, what's the problem? But again, why am I giving you my review? Go ahead.
Are you done with your review?
Go ahead. You're better off giving your review.
Some said it's okay, some love it.
Definitely better than my foot up your ass. Go ahead.
What? What foot on the ass again? What did I do?
What did I say? I think you're hearing things.
And I think this one is, in general, better than the majority of the 80s teen comedies. It's like there's so much things, like inside one movie. All those little issues combine to somehow make one of the funniest movie you've ever seen. And I think it's also full of energy because there are enough materials like here and there. Like you can watch 10 movies in a row, but this movie just has so many plot inside, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I remember this movie from the 80s as far as comedies go, and this was one of the better comedy movies of the 80s. The next one from back in 1982 is called Ator the Fighting Eagle, and it's released by Dark Force Entertainment. This is another foreign movie. This one's about the son of Torin learns of his heritage, goes to avenge the deaths of his fellow villagers, and rescue his sister love interest from the evil Dakar and his spider cult. Ator battles giant spiders, swordsmen cloaked in shadow, reanimated dead warriors, and horribly hideous witches. Sounds kind of like a B type of movie, this one.
I think I like this one. You know why? Do you know why?
No, I don't have no idea. Because it's based in China? Okay, go ahead.
No, because it is a great movie if you love bad movies.
If you love what?
It's a great movie for you if you love bad movies.
Why would I like fat movies?
Bad.
Oh, bad. Yeah, I know. It looks like well, from what I was reading, it sounds like it's really cheesy and crappy special effects.
In short, it's really poorly acted, very poorly scripted. The directing was shit, and the special effect is just lacks in every way. And you know what? I recommend this movie to anyone who looks for a comedy rather than an action movie, because I was basically laughing for like half through the movie. So it's not good.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why every time you tell me like it should be a movie that I like because it's so crap, but yet I told you I like cheesy B movies. I didn't say I like garbage, like throw it in the garbage with whatever else. But every time I tell you I think this movie is great, you always say you would love it because it's so crap. It deserves to be in the garbage with your brain.
I just have a feeling that you're kind of into garbage type of movie.
Okay, on to the next one. We're going to go with 1982 Blood Tide. Now, see, I'm almost afraid to say I want to see this because you're going to... Anyway, it's from Arrow, and it's about an adventurer hunting for treasure in Greece accidentally frees a monster that forces local villagers to sacrifice virgins. Right up my alley. What do you say?
Yeah, this one's good. I'm not going to say it's crap, okay?
Oh, then I don't want to see it.
Don't worry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, as you said, this film is about a young couple go search on a Greek island for the husband's sister, only to find out the sister is friends with an archaeologist who discovers something and release a creature, right? And that creature has a taste for virgin blood. So it started off pretty slow, but after the first half an hour, it kind of gets better and better. We only, I think the monster only showed only shows for like 3 seconds, and when you do, you kind of wish you hadn't, because it's very fake looking, and it kind of ruined the scariness of the situation. If I were the director, I would never show a monster at all. Just let whoever's watching it like fill in the blank, which is more scarier. At least that's what I think.
And for those wondering, the cover there on the left-hand side, that is James Earl Jones, who does the voice. This is CNN. Anyways, that's James Earl Jones. He also did the voice for Darth Vader. The next one looks like it's another foreign movie, and it is a horror. This one I haven't seen. Again, I don't know why I don't even remember this. Maybe because of the title. I'm not really a big fan of like satanic type movies, like like witchcraft and stuff.
I think this one is from Indonesia. You should like it.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm kind of interested in it. It's called Saint and Slave, and I know it's Indonesian because it says here it's from Severin Films, and even what it's about, the names, it sounds like, from out there. Since the death of his wife, Munarto and his 2 children, Rita and Tommy, are quite shaken, especially Tommy. On the advice of his friend, he goes to a fortune teller who forecasts the destruction of his family. At the suggestion of the fortune teller, Tommy learns black magic through books. Munarto gets a housemaid through an agency. Darmina starts to work in their house. Tommy is suspicious because she looks exactly like the fortune teller he once visited. Your turn.
Why are you all of a sudden so quiet?
Yeah, because I'm done talking about what it's about. Now it's like your turn to tell me about the review.
I think this one is quite enjoyable, and I don't know why. Again, I think Asian horror movies are way more scary. That's what I think.
So between the two, Saint Slave and Blood Tide, which one would you go with to watch first or recommend first?
This one. Say this one.
Yeah, I think you're more of a fan as well as of Asian horror movies over American ones, right?
Like this one, the plot is not that original. It's like find God to help overcome the devil, but it's just the overall atmosphere is way more scary and spooky. And I don't know why. Even when the same story like happens in Asia and like in Western countries, it's more scary in Asian. But again, I don't know why. It's just my feeling.
No, I agree with you. They seem to make them better and scarier. Not so much about, like, again, the special effects or whatever, but more the storyline is scarier. Maybe even like the music, the tense type of music they have. It just seems like a lot more like heart-pounding kind of thing,
Yeah, but it also seems more real. I don't know why. Again, it's just...
Yeah, probably because what I said. The music is more heart-pounding and it's not so, like, computerized effects that really get you. Right. Next one here from 1981. This one was kind of overlooked because it's star-studded. It's got Gene Hackman, Barbra Streisand, Diane Ladd, Dennis Quaid, called All Night Long. Executive George Doppler loses his temper and is demoted to the night manager at a 24-hour drugstore. After he suggests to his teenage son Freddie that he stop having an affair with suburban housewife Cheryl Gibbons, who is a distant cousin. Well, seems kind of incestuous, but anyways, Cheryl tries to seduce George. At home, in front of his mother, Freddie accuses his dad of stealing his girl. Yeah, this is totally incestuous. Because he found Cheryl serving George a meal in the middle of the night, while her husband Bobby was on duty at the fire station. George then separates his wife Helen, quits his job, moves into a warehouse, and asks Cheryl to move in with him. Sounds really wacky. What about this one?
It's wacky. I don't think this one's wacky. It's quite good. It kind of changed my outlook on growing older. And if you're a fan of either one of them, those actors, I think it also is one of the most underrated performance of Barbra Streisand.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think the acting of all of those actors is really good, and the plot was really imaginative. And I think this one is from 1981.
81, yep.
Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know why this one is not that famous though.
There's just so many movies made, and a lot of them fly under the radar. But as we said, yeah, there's a lot of famous people in this one.
Mm.
Maybe the story is just too confusing for people. I don't know, because I was reading it and it sounds like a whole bunch of stuff going on with a whole bunch of different people in the family. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Yeah, no surprise. All right, so next one we got is from Paramount Pictures, and it's called Atlantic City from 1980. And this one stars a couple of famous people as well, Burt Lancaster and Susan Sarandon. Atlantic City is revitalized as a resort when gambling is legalized, but the new industry also brings unsettling changes. For Lou, who's played by Burt Lancaster, 40 years a bodyguard boyfriend to aging beauty queen Grace, his number running sideline escalates to mob involvement. So it sounds like a bit of the mafia is involved in this one.
This film is like really low key, even though like there's drama and it's not your typical type of gangster movie of blood and violence. And the plot is actually quite simple, not too complex. I think what is good about this movie is because it has like great direction and the 2 stars, and the dialogue is like has those old Hollywood style, and yeah, I would say this one's a classic. So for whoever who's into like old Hollywood type of movie, this one is a must watch.
Okay, on to Maniac from Blue Underground. The 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray got released, and it was from 1980. This one, again,
I love this one.
41 years old, but it still, I think, stands the test of time. A deeply disturbed man prowls the seedy streets of New York City to stalk and slaughter innocent young women. This one is definitely one that I do remember, even though it's 41 years old already. Did you see this one before, or is this like your first time watching this?
I saw this one like long time ago, and I really like it. It's like
I kind of figured you would.
Can I say it? It's like the actor. His name in it is Frank, right?
Yes.
And it's not just like a serial killer to me, and it's actually like to me, he's just like a kid, because of what his mom did to him, and that's why he started all the killings. I mean, at least that's for me. And it's the movie has a lot of graphic violence. I remember one scene, he just like blew off a guy's head in front of his car. That was like really, really horrifying. So maybe that's why I like it so much. And it also has a feeling, this movie has a feeling like those documentary films, because you can actually see things through his eyes. So like whenever he's doing those killings, you just like right beside him, if you know what I mean. And I think that's why I like it.
And considering the time it was made, when it was so hard to do like special effects, and like you said, when you blew the guy's head off, it was much more difficult to do that at the time. Back in the 80s, it wasn't this kind of.
But still, it was so graphic and so, and it's not fake at all.
Yeah, you can tell it was really well done. Like a good steak, really well done. The only way to have steak. Right?
Like anybody would care, huh?
Like a what?
Like anybody would care.
But you care, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say that's crap. 1979, Kino Lorber releases A Man, a Woman, and a Bank. A small-time con artist and his computer expert best friend concoct an ingenious plot for the perfect bank robbery. But the ultimate heist takes some very unexpected turns in a surprising crime comedy. Go ahead. Donald Sutherland, by the way.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. Okay, it's your turn. You love him. That's it. That's your review. I love Burt Lancaster. Next.
I mean, at first I decided. The major reason for me deciding to give this movie a watch is because of his poster, and after watching Don't Look Now, I really like Donald Sutherland. And again, this movie it's just like a normal comedy, and for me it's not that funny. but I didn't really care for the development of the relationship at all and other things. It's just I watched this because of him. So if you are his fans, watch this. But again, this movie is just so.
But you sound like a fan of Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, but I mean the best part of this movie is when suddenly makes Vancouver looks like Asia. So I think you will like that.
Oh, I probably would like that. Then I would have to check that out just based on that. By the way, you remember last week we were talking about Donald Sutherland. No, not Donald Sutherland. Douglas. Kirk Douglas. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
And I said to you that Michael Douglas was his son, and you were like all freaked out about it. I think you actually disconnected from our review a few times because you were so shocked about it. But anyway, no. Do you remember that?
I did.
Okay, so I just want to tell you something, and you're probably gonna disconnect from me again for whatever reason. I don't know why, but Kiefer Sutherland is his son. You know that, right?
What?
Kiefer Sutherland. You know the guy who did 24? The TV show? Hello? Did you hang up already?
I didn't know.
I know you didn't. That's why I'm telling you. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland is Donald Sutherland's son. Not father or not grandfather. Son.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
You know, like a girl would be the daughter. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know about that. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one, Zombie, from 1979, from Blue Underground. The 4K Blu-ray got released today, and it's about strangers looking for a woman's father arrive at a tropical island where a doctor desperately searches for the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. Again, I don't remember seeing this one. It's such a long time ago. If I saw it, I was like 9 years old, so... I don't remember back in the day. I don't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. Go ahead with your review.
Can I ask you something first? How do you pronounce F-L-U-C-I?
F-L-U-C-I? Fulci.
Fulci.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the director's name,
correct,
right?
Yes.
So
he's Italian.
Of course I know.
Okay.
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, he's Lucio Fulci. I mean, you can't get more Italian than that. But I remember last time I said it, I think it was Banglo Bancucci or something like that. You were like all cracking up saying, oh, you make it sound so Italian. So I'm just going to say his name as like Lucio Falsi. All right, go ahead.
I'm not playing, okay?
Lucio Fulci.
Lucio Fulci.
Yeah, careful. You almost sound like you swore there. Go ahead.
What?
Nothing. Go.
What?
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. Lucio Fulci.
Lucio Fulci. Fulci.
Yeah, you have to have the L there, right? F-U-L-C-I. Fulci.
So
Lucio Fulci, like that.
Lucio Fulci.
And you have to put your fingers together. But anyway, people can't see you. You got to put your 3 fingers together like you're saying, oh, what are you doing? Okay, go ahead.
What the fuck? So this is like one of those old-fashioned type.
I told you it's allergies from half an hour ago. After I sneezed, I finally got a... Never mind. Go ahead.
I think this is one of those old-fashioned zombie horror type of movie. And I think the crazy thing about this, not crazy, it's like the music is really great. But I can't recommend this highly enough because this movie kind of reminded me of City of the Living Dead, and also another Italian horror movie which I really like, but I'm not sure if I pronounce it right. So if I pronounce it wrong,
give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a try.
Profondo Rosso.
You said it perfectly. Profondo Rosso. Yeah, you said
okay.
It. You said it good.
It just so I think maybe because it's from the same time, sometime around like 70s. So I just really like horror movies from that time, especially like horror movies from Europe. They all have that type of atmosphere. I don't know how to describe that. I just like it.
So another one you would say definitely to check out this week.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I would say to definitely check out this week. 1978, Shout Factory now releases The Deer Hunter. This is amazing, and especially on 4K, it looks absolutely stunning. 3 friends volunteer to serve in Vietnam. They failed to foresee the horrors that will encapsulate their future lives. Robert De Niro, John Cazale, John Savage, Christopher Walken, Meryl Streep. I can keep going on, but you say a bit about it. 182 minutes, 3-hour movie. I loved every single minute of this movie.
This one is so classic, and I think the great part of this movie is like it's a movie about war, but it's not exactly about war. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh,
It's more
definitely. Yeah. This is the one that I would say watch first of all the releases this week.
Mm-hmm. Can you just stop stealing my line?
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say the title, and you could talk all about it. How about that?
No.
Okay, watch this. Let's rewind. All right, you ready? The Deer Hunter.
Nope. I would say this is one of the very few films I would say, like, you should really watch it and watch it carefully because you might want to watch it again. It's just like a great movie, and again, it's not about war. It's about, I think, at least for me, it's about like those people like healing after war. So.
And the effects it has on you after the war.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say, like, this movie, I think, is one of Christopher Walken's best movie. At least that's what I think.
I would agree with you. And he looks so young in this and so different than what he looks like today or even 10 years ago.
Yes.
But even Meryl Streep did an amazing job. I mean, they all did.
Like, yes, it's just this.
And even John Cazale, I used to like him like from back in the Godfather days, and then he did Dog Day Afternoon and a couple other ones, and he died shortly after Dog Day Afternoon, which sucks because he was really good. But yeah, and he was Italian. Not like that really makes a difference as far as to why I liked him, but this is definitely one of those movies that you can just watch over and over again and not get tired of it, even though it's 3 hours long. So I would think that the next one is going to be the one that just by the title alone, you probably have it plastered all over your walls. Anything to do with the word chicken, I think it's right up your alley. So this one's the Chicken Chronicles from 1977, again released by Kino Lorber. And it's David is a high school student who will go to any lengths to impress a pretty cheerleader and lose his virginity. Oh, maybe I might want to check this out. While attempting to juggle his job at a chicken joint, oh, there you go, and trying not to get thrown out of Beverly Hills High School, a fate that could get him sent to Vietnam. So, sounds like something I would watch, but then again, the title is totally for you. Go ahead.
That's for me.
Yeah, because you told me last week you saw Devil's Rejects, and there was your favorite part was about something to do with a chicken, and you kept talking about chicken. I said, did you like the movie? And you said to me, yeah, I especially loved the chicken part, which was only like 1 minute of the movie, but then you just, half an hour of review about a movie, and you're just mentioning a chicken, which had nothing to do with them. Go ahead with this one. Another opportunity for you to discuss chickens.
I don't really like this movie. Like,
not enough chickens in it?
Because it's just like a stupid high school sex comedy which you would totally loved, and I have no idea why. But it's fun to see if you're into like light comedy, right? I thought it's a nice mix. It's not too bad. It's just, I mean, again, because I don't normally watch things like that, so.
Well, I think I would check it out just by the first sentence of what I read of what it's about. The whole, high school and virgin thing. Okay, so you don't really like that one, though?
Nope.
All right. The next one, In Search of Dracula, Kino Lorber again releases another one today from 1975. This says it's a documentary exploring the legends of vampires using books, paintings, and early films on the subject. And it stars Christopher Lee and Leonard Nimoy. And I know Edie Krauser from our channel one of our subscribers really talked about Christopher Lee just the other night, so it was kind of coincidental that it came out today.
Okay.
And I think you're a vampire freak too, right? Those type of movies. You like those kind of movies.
I'm not that into vampire, but
Well, I remember we talked about Thirst last Thursday, and you were talking about how the blood and all that stuff.
I just like the movie. It doesn't mean that I necessarily
But you like blood.
into vampires.
Yeah, but you like blood, and what do vampires do? They suck blood, right? So there's kind of a connection there.
Oh, but a lot of things suck people out of blood, no?
Yeah, so some people just suck. Okay, go ahead with your review.
Yeah, some people just suck.
Yeah, no names mentioned. I didn't mention any names. Right? Especially when they come from Jamaica. Go ahead.
I think this one is a pretty good documentary, especially if you are... Shut up. Especially if you are true vampire lovers. And it's not exactly perfect, but it has the right amount of scary atmosphere in it. And I think maybe I read a lot about this topic, like Dracula and stuff like that. I didn't really gain a lot of new information by watching this movie, but I still enjoyed it. So I highly recommend this to anyone who's into this type of topic.
Yeah, especially vampires. Okay, so
that's one of my favorite.
The next one?
This one, yeah.
Okay, 1975, Mondo Macabro presents. You can say the title, then I'll say what it's about. You said you wanted to say it.
Satanico Pandemonium.
Yeah, Satanico.
Satanico.
No, Satanico, no N. Satanico.
Satanico.
All right. Sister Maria.
Fine.
Should be called Stachito Poke Pandemonium. Sister Maria is known in the convent for her good works and charity, but in the secret depths of her sexual fantasy, she is tormented by visions of another world, a world where her forbidden passions are allowed to run free. Another horror movie. Go ahead. I mean, another horror and foreign movie. Go ahead.
And I think this one is very interesting because it's about an obsessed sister, not possessed, and it has it has some sex, nudity, child seduction, and self-mutilation, blood, and I just like movies with all of this, and I think the ending is very surprising. I'm not going to say much, but the ending is really surprising, with like a very bloody climax. So if you're a fan of offbeat cinema, just do yourself a favor and check this out. And especially it's a foreign movie. I love foreign movie.
Do you know where it's from?
I think it's from Mexico.
You're close enough. Spain. It's a Spanish one, yeah. I was surprised you didn't say Italy. Then you really would have got hung up on. But
no, because of the name.
Geez, what about it?
No, I mean because of the name. I think it should be like it should be from somewhere who's speaking like Spanish, because Santanico, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing I learned about you and doing reviews with you is there's two places that really, if the movie was made in these two places, they're must-watches. We discussed this last Thursday. Hong Kong is one. Just a moment.
But I also talk about
Hong Kong is the first one. Spain is the second one. Because as soon as I said, okay, so this next movie, you're all like, oh, can I say that title? Can I say that title, please, please, please?
I didn't sound like that.
But you know what? We say it the same way that the Spanish people say it, all right? So...
Really?
Yeah, really.
But I also mentioned those like Italian movies, which I really like, and you just ignore them.
Because you didn't say you wanted to say the title. All I said is this next one, and right away, before I could even say the you're already, can I say the title, please? All right.
I didn't sound like that.
The next movie is called An Ideal Place to... Okay,
can I say the title of this, please?
An Ideal Place to Kill is English. You want to say the Italian version? Do you know it?
You can tell me.
Do you have an idea?
An Ideal Place to Kill?
Yeah.
No.
Un posto
Un posto.
Idile.
Idile.
Per.
Per.
Uccidere.
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 Right. An ideal place to kill. 1971. Mondo Macabro. Another release. Of course, it's a foreign one. It's from Italy. Is that okay?
This one, yeah, because Mr. Lenzi. Lenzi. See?
See, because you're trying to... Never mind.
You're even allergic to Italian movies. Show some respect for home country.
No, it's because I'm still affected by your love for Spanish and Hong Kong movies. Two hippies find themselves on the run from the law and soon end up going undercover in a villa owned by a mysterious woman. And by the way, when I sneeze at Italian reviews, it's kind of like a... what do you call those things when you watch a commercial? Oh yeah, like a not like a hidden object, but subliminal message. That's what it is. Me sneezing is a subliminal message that you gotta watch this movie as opposed to other Spanish and Hong Kong movies. Go. So I already? Yeah, I read what it was about. You go on with the review.
This one is pretty good.
But not as good as the Spanish one, right? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't say that, but you know what? I think for those who really like Alfred Hitchcock, this one is really, really good.
And again, from 1971. So back then they had to get really creative and not rely on special effects. So I think they did a good job on that one as well.
And this one is, I think this one also has a lot of nudity scene.
Yeah.
And is that one genre of movie called exploitation?
Yeah, there's exploitation, there's like black exploitation, there's different types of exploitation. But back in the 70s, a lot of the movies that were made in Italy had a lot of that.
That might be the reason why I like it. It's so I like it.
Well, just as a off comment about something to do with that, it's like even in the commercials back in the 70s and 80s, when you watch commercials in Italy especially, and basically anywhere in Europe, you'll see like if they have like a promotion for like a soap or shampoo or something, they would show you the woman in the tub, and even like the water's only up to her stomach, so you would be able to like see her breasts and everything, which back then, like I was like 7-8 years old, and we were like used to that kind of thing, so it wasn't like, oh my god, you know, there's breasts on TV or something. You kind of like get used to it, whereas here you would never ever see that kind of commercial because people would just get like wrong idea or maybe mess their head.
But I think that's really cool because it's just human body, right?
It's nature. So, and then you wonder why people grow up here and become all like obsessed with women or like just like rapists or something. I don't know, like what's the difference between here and Europe, even on TV?
Huge difference.
You know? So
right?
I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know. I think it's all of Europe is the same. So you just get used to it at a young age, and it's really no big deal. It's not like, oh, wow, a shocking thing or something. Okay, so yeah, this next one, also from 1971, Severin Film releases The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward, another foreign movie. An ambassador's wife discovers that one of the men in her life, either her husband, an ex-lover, or her current lover, may be a vicious serial killer. This is also Italian. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to ask you something, though.
How do you say it in Italian?
No. There is a word I don't quite understand the meaning, but I think it's Italian.
What's the word?
Giallo.
Giallo's yellow.
Giallo?
Yeah, giallo.
Giallo.
Giallo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's yellow.
So is that like a term or something in movies?
Why? What do you mean? Like?
Because I always see this word. It's like Italian giallo, with plenty of suspense or something like that. So what does it mean? Just means yellow?
Because no, there was a it's like a genre in films. Giallo is an Italian term for like meaning mystery fiction.
Oh, okay.
But the actual word itself in Italian means yellow.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Because
I've
you know why? Because originally the term giallo, it came from like a series of paperback mystery novels with yellow covers. They were very popular in Italy back in the day, so that's why they're called giallo, for the yellow.
So it just refers to like suspense movies and like
That type of movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about this one? Did you see this one?
Yeah, I like this one, and it's like it's so, I don't know. I just so love movies back in '70s, and I think some of the killings in this movie are really really gruesome, which I love, and also because there are a lot of, not like I like it, but no, I mean not like I. That's the only reason I like this movie. But again, there are some like nudity, so it's just, I think that's like part of the factor that you just make that movie seem a little bit cult, if you know what I mean.
And there's been a lot of good foreign movies coming out today. Like we already covered quite a few. Yeah, right? They were all like pretty good. And again, not just Italy, but also Spain and wherever else, right? So.
Can you just stop? Can we just stop bitching for a second?
What are you talking about? I said not only from Italy, but also from Spain.
Yeah, but also from South Korea. No?
Well, one, but that's not Europe.
But they're still foreign movies to me.
Okay, but the Korean one, we discuss Asian movies in another episode. Not today. I'm saying there's a lot of European releases today. Okay, and one from Korea. All right, there you go. I gave you your plug. Okay?
Okay.
Can we go on to the next one, or you want to talk about?
No, but I still want you to know, like, there are Italian movies that I like. You can't just like I'm forever biased to something.
You don't sense my sarcasm by now? You're really that like Spanish oriented?
No.
I mean, I'm sorry there aren't any Jamaican films we can review today. Maybe next week I'll try to find one for you. All right? A Jamacai production. Okay, next one we got is called Funeral in Berlin, 1966, Michael Caine. Spy Harry Palmer is sent to Berlin, where he is to extricate a Russian general who wants to defect. After reluctantly accepting the assignment, he arranges for an escape plan, which includes a fake funeral. But unfortunately, the wrong body is transported out of Russia. Palmer keeps his cool, and there's plenty of scenery as he wanders about Berlin and in and out of the arms of some intriguing women. Paramount Pictures. Go ahead.
I think this one is not for those people who are looking for computerized special effects or exploding cars, something like that.
Well, in 1966, there weren't any.
But there are still any. No, I mean, there's still a little bit, no? Sometimes. But especially if I'm not as good as now.
How are you going to have computerized special effects in 1966?
No? Really?
Which computer? Did you time travel forward to a computer, bring it back to 1966, and then return it back to the local library in time for them to have it in the 90s?
Shut up.
What's... Okay, is that it for that review?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to cry. It's not a real funeral in Berlin, you know. It's just a movie.
Shut up.
A must-watch? Is it a must-watch?
Must-watch? Not really.
Okay.
Okay, what? You're going to fire me, right?
What?
You're going to fire me, right?
Yeah, right after I sneeze in your face again. 1960, Horrors of Spider Island, Severin Films, another release today. A team of chorus girls. Oh, I might want to see this. A team of chorus girls.
Can you just stop? I was just going to say this is a very entertaining piece of junk, and you were like, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, as soon as I mentioned that, you were going to say that. I already knew that. I was being prepared. A team of chorus girls find themselves caught in a deadly web when they are shipwrecked. You're going to make this a 3-hour episode if you keep interrupting every time I open my mouth. You know I'm going to get you back when you start your little review, right?
Go ahead, go ahead.
That's my line too. A team of chorus girls find themselves caught in a deadly web when they are shipwrecked on a remote South Seas island. The lush tropical isle seems an ideal place to await their rescue, but hidden in the jungle are giant poisonous spiders. Cool. A venomous bite transforms the girls' escort into a disfigured beast, half man, half insect. Well, I'm going to watch this right now. Consumed with lust and craving blood, the monster hunts down the defenseless girls and slaughters them one by one. Awesome. The ensuing panic drives the dancers to squabble and fight among themselves until they realize that their only hope for survival is to work together in a final stand against the monster. I'm so there. Go ahead.
It doesn't really take you too long to know a movie was made so cheaply, and yeah, like I said, it's a very entertaining piece of junk. And it's definitely recommended, you know what? Because trash enthusiasts like you will really like it. It's like bad 60 horror movies, right? Who doesn't want to watch it? Right?
Nobody.
Just
Everybody should want to watch this.
sit back and enjoy a brilliant slice of rubbish, okay? Anyone?
You notice I hung up on you there? Got worried, didn't you?
That would be so rude.
Oh, you mean like you did last week with Alice in Wonderland?
Honestly, it's rubbish, but I think it's worth watching.
Definitely. I agree. I finally agree with you on something. Your last 3 words. Definitely worth watching.
It's real rubbish.
Pure Mavakaga-ish. The Reluctant Debutante, 1958, Warner Brothers collection. Rex Harrison and Kay Kendall. It is about... Oh, Angela Lansbury's in this too, and so is Sandra Dee. It's social season in London, and amid the swirl of coming out balls, the aristocratic Broadbents are intent on giving their American-educated 17-year-old daughter Jane, played by Sandra Dee, the right entry into society in a proper upper-class beau. One complication: flighty Mabel Claremont is eager to match that same beau with her daughter, and another, Jane, of course, has her own ideas about these matters, and an eye for a guy who's a drummer in the dance band. What's this all about, really? Anything worth watching here?
This one is like a romantic comedy, so it might be good for others, but I'm not actually really into that type of movie. But I mean, you can watch it because the writing is good, the performance is good, and I think it's also another one of those overlooked films because it's not famous. It's not famous, but it should be. I mean,
another one of many that go under the radar. There's been so many of them. I mean, there's just so many movies you can watch, and there's a lot you're going to forget about or not even know about, and I guess this is another one of those. So we've reached the last actual movie release for this week, and I think I want to see this. I'm not sure. I got to wait for her review first to see if she says it's total crap, and then I'll tell you it's a definite must-watch. Taza, son of Cochise. Bunkunchi. Kino Lorber, 1954. Another release by them today. The two sons of Apache leader Cochise, or Bunkunchi, have conflicted views of the white men who trespass on their land. Taza, who's actually played by Rock Hudson, argues for peaceful coexistence, but his younger brother, Nachi, joins Geronimo on the warpath, one of the few westerns made in the 1950s that attempted to present a positive view of Native Americans. Taza, son of Cochise, was the second of 8 movies that Rock Hudson made with director Douglas Sirk. Filmed on location in Utah, the natural setting of the desert is one of the movie's many assets, which is vividly captured by the glorious Technicolor cinematography. And I'm sure she will have some more to say about this one. Go ahead.
Do you actually know, in the movie, there are white people playing Native American?
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good, so that's why I don't recommend this movie. Although, the director was big, right? But it's it's just a little bit nasty. Like white people playing Native American. That's just.
Yeah, but you saw back in the day, like I'm not condoning it either, but you know how many movies back in the day had like the butlers and the staff that were all like, you know, black people or something. I mean, it was just the way it was at that time. If we could try to not think of it that way, then maybe it's a watchable film. But because of the day and age we live in and what happened so brutally in the past, we're going to always say that, you know, that this is not the right way to do things.
Okay, so maybe back in the 50s, they don't really like consider things like that, right? So.
I guess, but it's like, yeah, I guess like even today, if you saw a movie where a white person was trying to play a Chinese person, it would come off as like totally racist, you know.
Offensive.
So, but yeah, okay. So of all the movies we did review today, give me your top, like the 3 that somebody should definitely check out this week before we go on to, you know, next week's releases. What would you say the 3 that they should watch from the list?
From the list?
Yeah, from today's releases.
I would say The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
And hold on. And Maniac. I really like that one.
Yeah, that's 2. I know it's been a long day and maybe you forgot how to count to 3. You just gave me 2. You gave me The Invisible Man and Maniac.
The Deer Hunter, all right?
Oh, The Deer Hunter. Okay. That's 3. That's 3. You did a great job. You made it to 3, just like I asked. Yeah, you had a little problem figuring out, you know, how to get to the 3rd one, but you made it. You figured it out. Well, after 2 comes 3.
Because there's so many movies and I have to like check that out. I can't just like make that up, right?
No, I know, but you were like, I said to you, like, you know, give me 3, and you're like, yeah, The Invisible Man. Okay, and I said, yep, and next, Maniac. Okay, and then you're like, that's 3, isn't it? No, that's 2. But you gave me The Deer Hunter after I told you, you know, after 2 comes 3, and give you your little education lesson for today. The 3 I'm going to go with is definitely The Invisible Man, which was the movie about the virgin college girls.
What the fuck?
There was that one, and there was another one with Dolly Dearest looks okay, but there was another one near the end that I said I wanted to see. There's a lot. There's so many releases out.
Chicken Chronicles?
No, that's yours.
No, I mean the one that you want to watch. Chicken Chronicles.
Is that the one about the college sorority girls getting all...
Like high school stuff.
Yeah, there was that one, but there was also the one with the beast going to kill a bunch of girls.
That one is from hold on.
Is that Spider Island?
Satan's Slave?
No.
Blood Tie.
No, I think it was Horrors of Spider Island. Hold on. I think it was Horrors of Spider Island, where the creature goes and kills all the girls. Yeah, a team of chorus girls find themselves caught in a deadly web when they are shipwrecked. A venomous bite transforms the girls into a disfigured beast, half man, half insect. That's the kind of crap I'm talking about. Well, obviously you're not, but okay, that's what I pick. All right?
No.
We done for today?
No.
That's all the releases.
No.
And then Thursday we got like another 20 Asian horror movies to review.
No.
Well, that's what's happening. So
No.
for this week, guys, gals, everything in between, the next review for Blu-ray releases is going to be June 2nd, as it's every Tuesday the releases come out. So it'll be posted around 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon Eastern. Asian, the 20 Asian horror movies you must watch this week will be released on Thursday afternoon, probably 4 p.m. Eastern as well. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, gals, everything in between. On behalf of my co-host Cai Cai, aka Jamacai.
Oh, don't give me a name that I don't like.
Well, okay, you got a week or you got 2 days to figure out a new nickname then, okay?
Why? That's my nickname. That's my name.
I mean for a country. If you
Why
think of...
for
Well, it's like I said, it's you have a choice, either Jamacai or Jamacai. I
so
mean,
what about
what?
your name, your nickname?
I'm Mavakaga.
Shit.
Okay, so she obviously wants a dial tone right now, guys. So I'm gonna go hang up on her first before
No.
anything, and then,
Rude.
guys, gals, everything between, we will see you again in another couple of days with another Asian horror movie review. For now, peace and love. Peace and love.
Shut up and let other people go.
Stay strong. Stay healthy.
Just let they leave.
Take care of yourselves and of each other. As always,
Just let them go.
Mavakaga
Bye-bye.
out.